Hi everyone, Tej Brombat of Tej Takeaways. So I was actually speaking via Zoom with a client of ours who's a fast growing startup. And I gave him a story about how I used to practice my pitch to make sure I sounded amazing on the phone because I almost got fired on Wall Street, not for not being a hard worker. I was the hardest worker in the room. I had the most energy, the most conviction, everything. I lacked one thing, focus. I didn't realize that all this energy was coming off as marbles in my mouth over the phone, even in person sometimes, but more so over the phone. Because if you think you sound like a 10 in person, you probably sound like a 7 on the phone or a 6 on a video chat. Think about that. And now with the day of Zoom and most calls are going to be on the phone, not in person, you might want to freshen up on your communication skills and how you sound. It might not be do or die, but in my world, when you're working on a $50 or $100 million deal, everything that can be used against you will. So for that's the most basic form of communication. So how I practiced on Wall Street, I almost got fired because of those marbles in my mouth. No other reason. I was the hungriest person in the room. I was the most dedicated, but I needed to focus and control it, kind of like a car. You can punch the gas in a 400 horsepower engine, but if you don't know how to drive, that's deadly, right? So same premise. So what I basically did was I stood in front of the mirror. I had a 7-minute pitch, which was US Air, it was the stock. And I did this pitch in the mirror until I could actually see the pitch on my lips and I could understand what I was saying. But I used to talk almost like this. I would pitch, I would say my words. And I spoke so low so that I could read my pitch. Once I did that, I realized people started listening to me differently. I got more leads on the phone. I sounded crisper. And the more I did that, the better I got with it, my confidence built. So now I'm doing better because I'm practicing. What I think was something so simple now is something so profound because people are listening to me more intently. I'm getting more leads. I'm building confidence. And they always say the lie becomes the truth, but no, the hard work you put in of where you're going to be in a year does become the truth. So I put in the work and the dedication, and year over year, I kept on growing as a professional and as a person. So for anybody, whether you're 18 on your first job, whether you're like Russell, our client, thanks Russell for the inspiration, or you're an investment banker looking for the next big $100 million deal, every single thing you do either works against you or for you, just like your mindset does. If your mindset says I'm going to do something and create something, you will. If you wake up and say I'm not feeling it, then you're probably not going to do it. So next time you have anything to do, if it's a negotiation, especially now, most calls are Zoom or Skype or video chat, right? They're not going to be in person. So if you sound like a 9 or a 10 in person, you probably sound like a 7 or 6 via video. Think about that. Now, especially for the next few months, go back to your basics. Learn your game of your trade of communication. Like I said, it can help anybody, no matter what age, group, level. But if most of your calls are going to be video or FaceTime or via conference, you want to sound a little bit better. So this is a rule that I apply to myself every day, especially now in the age of, for the next few months, no one's going to have face-to-face meetings. Even your job interviews might be on the phone. Make sure you sound good. So obviously record yourself, play back yourself on your phone, see how you sound, but do this. Record yourself in person. It sounds and looks a little funny because I'm overemphasizing my words for your benefit though. So I don't care how I look. It's how I sound and the value I bring to you. Same premise. So hope all is well. Stay safe. And remember, practice makes perfect.